Hi there, and it's Martin, it's Nick, and we're going to talk about number 1 Richmond Street, which is a interesting enough property. It's the kind of property I personally quite like. And let's go. So I'm going to share my screen and then we'll go through the details. There's Martin and there's the particulars. So just scanning through this, I'm conscious we need to give it due diligence, so we'll get through this as quickly as we can, so we keep you interested. So okay, mismatching bath panel, okay, but overall this is a good bathroom in good order, and probably done about 50 to 10 years ago or something. Same with the kitchen. It looks to be that kind of modernish 10-year-old kitchen. The reason I say that, those appliances look pretty modern. That's an induction hob. Nice. Nicely extended. It's really maximally extended, as it were. So that's a good thing. And we've got a nice backyard. The decking, there's a little problem with that. We'll see that in a minute with other pictures. The interior. Okay, so if properties are empty, if it's probate, it could be problematic, but we'll talk about that shortly. I don't know why this was done, other than maybe there was a damp issue, but it's unlikely because this is a relatively modern building. I would imagine this is from the 40s or say the 50s, but Martin, maybe you can tell us.
Yeah, I'm
it's had a pretty extensive renovation. So for example, that's a more modern door. I think what happened was it was extensively modernized probably about 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
It should be before 30s, 50s. So.
Yeah, that would make sense. So this is good. So a lot of the heavy lifting, as it were, has been sorted out, which I always like because somebody else went through the pain and you didn't have to, kind of thing. It needs painting and decorating, tidying up, but the fundamentals are good. And yes, I would say this is a 10 to 15-year-old thing. That decking needs a bit of work. The plank is broken through. The wood is a bit rotted. It might be worth replacing that or not, I don't know, but probably worth replacing. It's quite a nice feature. If you jet washed it and then got rid of all the rotting planks, that would help. I like this double door, very nice. Okay, exterior, all looking okay, no signs of anything serious. Now let's have a look at the pictures and then we'll get into the video. So again, this is very consistent with when it was renovated, and this looks to me like a 15-year-old boiler. And same with the circuit board.
I want to add that the boiler is it should be good because the EPC is made in 2018, and then the boiler was good condition. So because if it wasn't, they will mark that it's old, that needs to be changed. So I think it's
a relatively modern one. And you can see here some of the decking, but that's not a big cost and not difficult to do. It's basically paint by numbers. You just buy the wood and you cut it and you screw it back in. And this backyard. So one of the things I'm interested in is quality of brickwork. And overall, it looks okay. These are reasonably good bricks. The roof looks okay. There's chipped slate here, but it's okay. Now you can see next door that they've pulled the trigger and put a new roof on it. But this is a relatively old roof, but I think it was renovated. As I say, it was renovated thoroughly 15 years ago, and I think this roof is all right. It's very rustic, thick slate. That's okay. It'll last a long time. That one's got tingles on it.
270 millimeters loft insulation. That should be good.
So the roof is acceptable, I would say. It's got a few little issues. There's the concrete roof. I like these because they're very easy to swap out concrete tiles if you have to. And there's a close-up. I'm glad they gave us a close-up, and you can see there's the cracked slate. There's the tingled one. This is okay, this roof. It'll hold out. If this was surveyed, the surveyor would comment on this and say, well, there's a problem there, but overall, I think it's okay.
Let's check
and as you saw, you got a roof light, which means that they've boarded out they've boarded out the loft, so that's good as well. And there's natural light in there. We can see that a gutter wasn't working properly and therefore leaked all over the wall, probably gave it a bit of damp, but it's not a problem. And here, this is interesting. 1930s houses were less prone to damp than 1910s houses. What year was this again? 1930s, you said?
30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Before Second World War.
Well, obviously they had a few damp issues because look, you can see the damp proofing there, but at least it's been done. And good quality bricks as well.
Yeah.
Like nice, evenly done bricks. And this is good.
I really like the house.
Yeah, it is a nice house. And that roof is okay as well. Rustic, but solid. There are marks here from the lead coming down the roof, but that's all right. Fascia board probably needs a bit of work. There's nothing wrong with this house. It's all fairly okay. And there's some damp, which we see on here. Let's have a look. So there's probably a little bit of a damp issue here, I think it is, and that makes sense. You've got the cladding, got a join here, and somehow water's got in or pooled and it's sort of sucking into the brick. It's not a real problem. Rising damp is more of an issue. Okay, let me get this right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my bearings on this. Is that is the ground floor? Right, so there's some damp around here. So this ledge must be causing a problem. Yeah, that must be it. It's ground floor, it's the front, it's the ledge, and it's all around there. Okay, it's just a ledge not properly done. It's not a huge problem. It just needs to be done. A thing I don't understand is why has this been done? This is brand new. Unless there were damp issues and they decided to damp proof, or there was some sort of problem, or they closed up a chimney or did something. But why would you do that? I don't know. I don't think it's a serious problem. I'm just saying, why would you do that? The reason these get left for a long time is because they have to dry out before they get painted. And here's another reason why you avoid doing jobs with a lot of plaster work, because you rip off the plaster work, you replaster, it's at least a month for the plaster to dry out, and that's a month you're not renting your property out. So I always like to avoid any properties where there's extensive plaster work to do. This is just an ill-fitting door. It's not rising damp, I don't think.
No, it's not.
And there we are. So let's just gutter is not being done right. Let's have a quick look. Now I'm just conscious of time, so we're going to rattle through these. New doors throughout, that's quite interesting. And there's our front yard. Nice. Yeah, nice cars. Nice cars, eh? Nice cars.
Why didn't point the dump here?
Yeah, well.
The nice doors.
This works very well, this terrace idea. It just needs to be redone externally. This was an extensive renovation. I know this because whenever somebody pushes it and says, right, we're going to really go for it, we'll even replace the doors. When the old doors are perfectly good,
yeah, but
then you know they were spending.
Yeah, this is 2017, but for 100K. So basically they did a lot of work in Pathrec before, and I'm trying to find the photos.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite a modern.
Yeah, I just want to add there is no risk with surface water and coal mining until we watch the videos. EPC is good, it's 67 score, almost EPCC, you just need 2 scores, you just need to improve lighting, and that's all. So yeah, everything by that is really good, so you don't need to be worried. I'm checking now the historical sale.
And I'm looking at the double glazing as I go along here.
And I want to add that this property was in March for 225K added on the market, and after it got reduced on 200K. I think they was asking a lot, and they found out.
Right, well, they tried to market it and it didn't work.
Yep.
Interesting. But it has a few issues, but they're not major. It's just things that.
Yeah, but it will rent nice.
Like gutters were blocked up, and you know.
It will rent nice. It will rent nice. The location, as you can see, the cars and so on. The person say hi from the car.
See the Hong Kong Chinese person there. Hang on, let's just look. Hi from Hong Kong. Good cars. This is always a very encouraging sign.
Yeah.
I like this house.
Yeah,
This is your
really
classic Droylsden semi, very nice property. I would have this.
it just need to be renovated a little bit, but I don't think more than 5K will be needed.
It's good to see the damp proofing. It obviously had some damp. They've done
Here
really
is the
good
issue.
renovation on this.
Yeah. Okay,
There's
so
the external store. Yeah, you see there. So that we don't like. Why have we got that? Because there's a join in the gutter. It leaked. Here we go. And so much bad stuff happens because of simple things like gutters not being cleaned. Same story. Look at that. Now, the good thing is these bricks are good. They're very dense bricks and the water won't soak into them. And that makes them good and makes it good as a house.
The garden is nice as well. I like the small building.
This is nice.
Nice storage room.
Needs a really good clean though. Good jet wash.
I think not more than 5,000 will be the renovation.
Yeah, I think you're in the money there, about 5,000 altogether. Even less maybe. Just little details like change the bath panel. You know, simple things.
Just make it more. Yeah. Yeah, we saw everything. So maybe we can go just quick. The capital growth. Yeah, we saw this.
All right, condition-wise, it's doing fine. And capital growth, let's have a look. So this is doing okay, not great. And I'll start with crime. Low, higher, still very low. Anything around 2 to 3 crimes is extremely low. This is a very quiet area. And demographically, very Englishy, very reasonable private rented, which is a healthy enough, very low social rented. Lots of C1. This is a upper middle, not upper middle class, but it's kind of middle class, upper end middle class area. This is good. Now, from a like, how's the market doing? What's the churn? In the last boom, it grew a lot, and then it lost all its declines or growth, should I say? It's at a similar point to 2008, but affordability is better this time around, and so I do see this area growing a bit more. It's kind of topped out a bit though from 2018, which is interesting. So it's just a little bit flat. I want to just zoom out a little bit more and just see what's going on, because when you look at capital growth, if you look at something in isolation and you go, oh, that's bad, but it's important to take it in context that in fact the housing stock here is good. Like the housing stock and the demographics are good elsewhere around the place. And in this case, I would take my capital growth bearings off the surroundings as well. And so I say that it is very strong on growth overall. And there's a lot of churn here, 16 properties per 1,000 population being sold here. 12, no, less churn here. So there's probably less movement, probably because in this segment here, you've got a lot more social rented. And I think that's why the numbers are a bit distorted. So really you have to take, to get an accurate view, one should take reference from these. So I'm going to use this one as my reference, and I will say that it's a very strong area. It's got a lot of growth potential. There's headroom, I think. Now, if I zoom out a little bit more, I'm going to look at the very temporal story, like what's happening right now. And it's a very hot area. I won't go into all the details why, but I know it's hot from this number, 27. It's topped out a little bit on growth. However, towards the end of the property cycle, typically you're going to see more and more areas like this grow bigger because people are looking for value. and we're in the final boom phase. Property cycles exist. They've been going, as far as I know, for hundreds of years, but definitely since 1845. Red arrow, property cycle. And from here we can see affordability. We haven't really hit max affordability, or inaffordability, should I say. So I think there's more action here, and I think it's a very nice area and very interesting. Over to you.
Yeah, I will just share screen just quickly. I just want to add there is no mining issues. The properties here. So as you can see, all mining issues far away. The the surface water, river, and the sea is very low risk. The property, as you see, it was advertised in 1st of March, very more expensive.
Yeah, they were too ambitious, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, this build, that size.
Oh, too ambitious, and they probably had a sale accepted, and it fell through, and now they're going back because they realized that they're better off price.
It's first March. I don't think that was.
Oh, you're right. They've dropped the price, haven't they?
Yeah, and 16, and after they reduced, and because they didn't have enough, I guess they didn't have any offer on this price because they're too ambitious.
The thing with this area is it's very commodity. In other words, it's got lots of houses which are basically identical, and therefore it's very easy to value properties in the area.
It's 30 minutes walking, driving.
What's it like for public transport?
30 minutes to the center.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see you have a lot of green space around. You have the schools. You have here like a market. So you have here a shopping center, and here. So it's not really close, but 15 minutes walking, 20. So that's really nice.
It's a driving area, isn't it? So you're going to have your parking, and you just drive to where you need to go. Oops.
Yeah.
You're back. Hi, sorry, connection
but
dropped.
not a lot. So, and here, but hi, now it's okay.
I'm back. Hello.
Okay, so here is some social houses, and here, but that's just few in every neighborhood you have, so that's okay. Everything else is good. When you go to comparables, as you can see, properties are selling, depends where, from 160 to 250. So
based on your assessment, what's it worth?
Not more than 215 to 20 max, because with all inflation, so on. So basically, if you score it, just to show you, if you score it for 950 will be run by 12, and you need to spend like 5k, and you take it for 215, so 220. Just that's like the maximum.
Yeah, it does need about 5k in it.
So
it's just there's nothing fundamentally wrong with this property. It needs a tidy up. Yeah, so it's a 5.2 yield.
Yeah, but on 250. Yeah, but if you can, but even until completion and everything, when it needs to be done, the rent will increase a little bit. So because until the completion, it will take June, July, so at least 3 months plus renovation 1 month. So
it's a nice property. All right, so let's do the scores.
Yeah.
So I'll share my screen. Here we go. I like this house. Let's see if the scores tell us that we like this house. This is like, so we've got lots of assessments done. So this is good. So we scored lots of properties. I think people like these. Condition, actually not bad. I would give it a 4. Fundamentally, 4. It's a good property. Location?
Yeah, it's nice. 4. It's not for more. It's not for less. It's a good area. 4.2.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice. I like Droylsden for
prime. Very good. Yeah. Very quiet. Demographics actually quite good.
4.2, 4.3. Yeah.
Good demographics. Capital growth. Yes, I think it's a win on capital growth. I think
3.9.
There's some space. So the reason I'm optimistic on growth for this is because it's a good house. And think about the £250,000 capital growth threshold. Once you get above 250, you get just a lot more stamp duty, and therefore it costs relatively more to acquire. Therefore, I think it's got lots of headroom, and I think in 4 years' time it'll definitely be selling for like 250, 260,
yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
money.
I think.
Okay, so I'm going to give it a 4.2. And sell time, well, it'll be quick. And price, well, now it's actually sensibly priced. Rent time, very good. Yield, 5.2, it's acceptable.
For this area, yeah.
It's, yeah, I think it's, what are you going to give it?
3.8, 3.7, something like this.
I'll go 3.8 because it's going to grow. It's going to do better over time. 4.06. That's a decent score. That's above average. That sort of fits in with my feeling about the area, about the property and everything. It scores quite well. All right then. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we need to call the agent. We need to call the agent to see how much tomorrow and offers they have. And so based on that, we'll decide how much to offer.
All right. Yes, I will talk to the agent in the morning if you want to offer, and let's go. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.